Picture it. It's the third week of July. The forecast says 104 by Friday, and it's only Tuesday. By noon, the air is dead still. No breeze. The kind of heat that presses down on your chest. Out in the pasture, your cattle stop grazing and crowd into one thin strip of shade. The chickens are standing with their wings held out, beaks open, panting. Then the power flickers and dies. No air conditioning, no fans. And out here, no electricity means one more thing the city folks never think about. Your well pump just stopped. Turn the kitchen faucet and nothing comes out. 40 head of livestock, a garden, a family, and not a single drop of running water. In 100-degree heat, that clock starts ticking fast. This isn't a story. In the summer of 2022, a brutal heat wave rolled across southwest Kansas and killed thousands of cattle in a matter of days. Strong, healthy animals, dead in the field, not from drought, not from disease, but from heat that came faster than anyone was ready for. Most folks think a heat wave is just something you sweat through. It isn't. Heat is the deadliest weather there is. It quietly kills more Americans in an average year than tornadoes, floods, and hurricanes combined. And here's the part that stings. The time to get ready is right now, in the cool part of the season. Because the day that forecast turns red, every rancher in the county floods into Tractor Supply at the same time, and the shelves go bare by lunch. So today, I'm walking you through the 11 things experienced hands buy before the first heat wave hits. Item number 6 is something most people don't even realize their animals need. And item number 11, the one nearly everyone forgets, is the difference between having water for your family or watching the taps run dry. Before we load the cart, you've got to know what you're up against. Out here in a heat wave, you're fighting two enemies. The first is dehydration, in you and in every animal you're responsible for. The second is the power grid, because when it buckles under everyone's air conditioning at once, your well goes down with it. Beat those two and you'll make it through. So let's build the list. Item 1 is the one everybody gets wrong: electrolytes. When the heat hits, your instinct is to give the animals more water. Good, but plain water isn't enough. A panting chicken or a sweating horse loses salts and minerals fast, and water alone can actually wash out what's left. Tractor Supply carries livestock electrolyte powders for poultry, cattle, and horses for a few dollars a packet. You mix it into the trough. It's the cheapest thing on this whole list, and it saves the most lives. Item 2 solves the exact problem that scenario opened with: water you can count on when the pump quits. You need storage. A spare stock tank, a few food-grade barrels, anything that lets you bank water before you need it. The veterans fill every container they own the night a heat warning posts. Because a full 100-gallon tank sitting in the shade keeps your animals alive for days, power or no power. Item 3 is shade cloth. A bare metal roof or an open run turns into an oven. Tractor Supply sells rolls of woven shade cloth that block most of the sun while still letting air move through. Strung over a chicken run, a kennel, or the side of a pen, it can knock 10 or 15 degrees off the temperature underneath. Shade isn't a luxury in a heat wave. It's the cheapest air conditioning on the planet. Item 4 is moving air. Fans. Heavy-duty barn fans and even simple box fans do more than cool. They break up the still, heavy air where heat and ammonia pool. An animal that can feel a breeze keeps eating and keeps drinking. Buy them early, because fans are the very first thing to sell out the second the heat arrives. Item 5 is salt and mineral blocks. This ties straight back to the electrolytes. When animals sweat and pant, they crave salt to hold their balance. A plain white salt block or a trace mineral block left in the pen lets them self-correct. They cost a few dollars and last for weeks. Set them out before the heat, not after. Item 6 is the one I told you most people miss: fly control. Here's what nobody warns you about. The heat doesn't come alone. It brings clouds of flies. They swarm the eyes, the wounds, and the faces of already stressed animals. And they can spread disease through a herd in days. Tractor Supply carries fly spray, fly masks for horses, and feed-through fly control. The old hands put it out before the first hatch, not after the swarm. Item 7 is a misting setup. For the animals that suffer the worst, hogs, dairy cows, show stock, a cheap misting kit that clips onto a garden hose can be a lifesaver. The fine spray cools through evaporation and can pull real degrees off the air right around them. Pair it with a fan and you've built a cooling station for the price of a few burgers. Item 8 is sunscreen. And yes, I mean it. Animals with pink skin and thin hair burn just like we do. Pigs especially, but also goats and any critter with a pale nose or pale ears. A bad sunburn cracks, blisters, and gets infected. A tub of zinc-based ointment off the shelf, smeared on the spots that burn, prevents a world of misery. Most people never think of it until they're staring at the blisters. Item 9 is more hose than you think you need. When you're hauling water by hand because the pump is down, 50 extra feet of hose is the difference between a chore and a nightmare. Soaker hoses keep a stressed garden alive on a trickle. Buy the hose, the splitters, and a good shutoff nozzle now. They vanish the moment the heat breaks the grid. Item 10 is a way to keep things cold. A heavy-duty cooler and a stack of frozen jugs pull double duty. They keep your insulin, your medicine, and your food safe when the fridge goes dark. And those same frozen jugs, dropped into a chicken's waterer or set in a dog's kennel, are a cheap, instant way to cool an animal down fast. And finally, item 11, the one nearly everyone forgets, and the most important on this list, a generator, and the fuel and the stabilizer to actually run it. Remember the two enemies, dehydration and the grid. This is what beats the second one. When the power dies in a heat wave, a generator does a lot more than save the food in your freezer. It runs your well pump. And running that pump means water keeps flowing for your family, for your animals, for everything you're responsible for. A generator turns a life-threatening outage back into a minor inconvenience. But here's the catch the old hands all learned the hard way. A generator with a dry tank is a paperweight. Buy the fuel ahead of time. Treat it with stabilizer so it doesn't go stale in the can. And run the unit for 10 minutes today, just to be sure it actually starts. The worst possible time to find out your generator won't crank is at 105 degrees with the lights already out. Look, nobody circles the date on the calendar when the heat's going to break a record. But summer always comes, and out here, it comes hard. The difference between a rough week and a real disaster usually comes down to one trip to the farm store, made in June instead of August. Electrolytes, stored water, shade, fans, salt, fly control, misters, sunscreen, hose, a cooler, and a generator that's ready to run. None of it is expensive, but together it buys you the one thing money can't make more of in a heat wave: time, and the cool head to use it. If this was helpful, do me a favor and tap that like button. It helps push this list out to more folks before the heat hits. And if you want to know the 4 mistakes that kill more backyard chickens than any predator, that video's right here.